Hello everybody and welcome to another video. And today I'm going to be looking at a band I've never heard of before. Tried to do a bit of research on them, couldn't really find very much. I did find a little bit, and we're looking at a band called Motanka. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And what I've found is that Motanka is a four-piece band from the Ukraine, founded in 2015 in Lutsk. I probably pronounced that horribly, I do apologise. The band combines tried and true band formula of guitars, drums, bass and vocals, along with the Ukrainian dulcimer and ocarina, as well as a smattering of electronic music to create a unique fusion that the band has called mystic metal. There you go, that's really all I could find about the band. Now, I'm going to be looking at a track called Oi Tai Moya Zemle, probably pronounced that hideously, and I do apologise, which apparently stands Here You Are, My Land. That's apparently what it stands for. Now, from what I understand, it is sung in Ukrainian or a foreign language. There is a translation here which comes directly from underneath the video, so hopefully it should be an accurate translation. So I can't really say much more about the band or anything else, so we'll jump into the track. I do believe it's a lyric video. We'll jump into the track and see what we have. So, Oi Tai Moya Zemle from Motanka. Let's have a look. Very, very interesting. Very unusual. It's quite different. Now, when I actually looked up the band, it didn't actually it didn't actually specify what kind of music they were. But from this, they seem to be, well, they describe themselves as mystical metal. But this specific track seems to be almost more prog rock than anything else. So maybe some of their other material is different, possibly heavier. I did actually have 2 different tracks by this band suggested to me, and having a quick look around YouTube, one of the 2 was reacted to a lot. Most of the reactions to this band seem to be on that specific song, so I went for the other one. So that other track might actually be a more heavier, more metal-based piece of music as compared to this one, which had, like I said, more of a sort of prog rock with folk elements thrown in, sort of sound to it. So I'll be interested to. I'm going to actually have to check out that other track, because I mean this track was very, very good. It's quite unusual, like I said. Vocally wasn't quite what I don't know what I was actually expecting, but it was different to what I was expecting. I'm not sure exactly. I think that maybe I was expecting a sort of maybe slightly gruffer voice. I don't know. I don't know why, but But it was a beautiful video. All those landscapes and stuff like that. It was a very, very beautiful video, and the way they've used that sort of almost runic font to do the lyric video also makes it look really good. Now, there wasn't actually that many lyrics to the song. It was predominantly an instrumental piece of music with a little bit of vocals thrown in. And like I said, I got a translation here which comes directly from underneath the YouTube video itself, so it should be accurate. It says, "Here you are my land, here you are my native, here you are my mother, here you are my beloved, you are forever. Here you are my river, here you are my sky, here you are my sun, you are my happiness." And that's it. And that's all the lyrics that I've got. Now, I'm guessing in the song there's possibly some of those lines or words repeated, because there was this one specific word which kept coming up over and over again. Damned if I can remember exactly what it was, so I'm guessing there was more to it, possibly. But that's the translation that, like I say, comes straight from the band underneath their video. And they actually wrote a description of the song as well. It says, "This song is about motherland, about boundless sky, native land, joyful sun, and dear mother. Wherever you are, you will be a part of the land on which you were born and grew up, and it will stay forever. This is the power of Mother Earth, which cherishes us on her hands." So it's basically about nature and the way that Mother Earth supports us and sustains us, sort of thing. So it's basically a song about the beauty of nature, how great nature is, and that sort of thing. So a beautiful song with a beautiful meaning, very sort of almost pagan meaning behind the song, and going along with the visuals of the video and the choice of font. I can kind of see that being a thing. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. I will have to check out their other track, because like I said, they called themselves mystical metal, and there was a very sort of almost folk music feeling to that specific song. There was elements in it that had the folk music elements there. There was the part where there was the dulcimer playing, which sounded amazing. So I will be intrigued to check out the other track. Like I said, everybody else checked out that other track, so I went for the different one. Maybe I went for the lighter of the two. Like I said, maybe the other one has more metal influences in the track. I don't know, so I'm going to have to check that out at some point. But I really liked that, but I don't really know what to say about it other than, it sounded really good. It was very, very interesting. It was very different, and it's got that sort of thing behind it, where they're talking about, the love of the earth, the love of nature, and how the world sustains us and how we should be grateful for that. So, nice meaning. But I really can't think of what else to say about it, so I'm going to have to leave that as it is. Now, if anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to them, please do so. By all means, you can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you could even message me through my Patreon, where you could also help to support this channel, which would, of course, be a great help to me, since all of my videos get demonetized because, well, I'm using other people's material in my videos, and even though they might take up a small amount of my video, the entire thing gets demonetized. I see nothing from these videos. So, of course, that would be of a great help to me. There is an option in Patreon where you can get your suggestion jumped to the front of the queue, should you so desire. There is a limit on how frequently you can do that, and that's just to be fair to people who suggest tracks through regular means, such as YouTube comments, Facebook and Instagram messages, etc. And if you do make a suggestion through those regular means, do know it might take me a while to get around to your suggestion, since I do get suggested so many new tracks every single day that my list grows faster than I can record the videos. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it'll get done eventually. It just might take me a while to get around to it, I'm afraid. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes. And one of the facets of that is hate crimes against people of the alternative culture, and it's something I believe in very, very strongly, and it's something that gets widely ignored and doesn't get spoken about nearly enough. And it is the main reason for the founding of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. This is how the foundation came into being, and it's a very real problem that's been going on for decades that it's just widely ignored. Every day, all over the world, people from the alternative community are getting violently attacked just purely for the fact that they listen to alternative music or wear alternative fashion. And, we're not talking, simple little things like name calling or, just the odd shoulder ram as they're walking down the street. No, we're talking about real violent crimes where people are getting brutally attacked. People are getting hospitalized with broken bones and sometimes more life-threatening injuries just because of their taste in music. And people don't seem to realise how big of a problem this really is. And, because every day we hear about all these other hate crimes like sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, religious hatred, ableism, etc. We hear about these every single day. From the most violent of these crimes, where someone is murdered because of the colour of their skin, because of their sexual identity, because of their religious beliefs, what have you, down to the most petty and pathetic of these crimes, where some entitled white woman is calling the police because a family of colour are having a picnic in a public space. We hear every facet of these from every media platform you can imagine every single day. But we don't hear anything about these people that are getting beaten to within an inch of their lives because of their taste in music. And it sounds ridiculous, but it is a real thing that's been going on for years. And I've never been able to get my head around it. Why would anybody feel the need to beat someone half to death just because they like different music? It's never made sense to me. But it is a very real problem. And, the last time we heard anything about this was 13 years ago, when Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby were violently attacked by a group of 5 or 6 people and beaten, punched, kicked, and had their heads stamped on so violently that they both ended up in comas. Now, Rob Maltby, he did thankfully survive. He was in a coma for around about a week, maybe a little bit longer, but he thankfully survived. Sophie Lancaster, on the other hand, she was in a coma for 13 days before she succumbed to her injuries and she died. This young woman was 20 years old and she was beaten to death by a group of people just because of her taste in music and the clothes that she wore. And like I said, that happened 13 years ago, and that's the last time we heard anything about this happening. But in those 13 years since that happened, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of similar attacks, and we've not heard a single thing about it because no one's died. And that is unacceptable. We shouldn't have to wait for someone to lose their life before this sort of thing gets spoken about, before something gets done about this. You know, we shouldn't have to wait for someone to get brutally murdered over something so pathetic. You know, but you know, all these other crimes get like spread across newspapers every single day, but we don't hear anything about this one because people don't think it's a real problem, but it is. You know, and when it comes to the point where someone is being murdered just because of their taste in music, it's, you know, something's fundamentally wrong and something has to be changed. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is, in fact, a real problem. They want more people to realise that this sort of thing is going on and that something needs to be done, because they don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to watch their daughter slowly die over the course of 2 weeks just because of the small-minded actions of a group of people who couldn't contemplate the fact that not everybody has to like the same things. You know, not everybody has to like what you like. Everybody is entitled to be an individual. But just because someone likes something different to you, it doesn't give you the right to beat them to death. And they want to raise the awareness of the fact that this is going on, and you know, it's just being ignored. And by ignoring it, we're essentially just letting these people get away with it. And we cannot allow that to carry on. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their overall goal is, because they can explain it a hell of a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any small way, obviously don't feel obliged to do so, but if you can help them out in any small way, like a small donation through their website or something as simple as one of these Sophie wristbands from their web store, maybe even one of those, you know, they've got a whole bunch of other stuff, you know, the smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And the sooner we get more people talking about this, the sooner we make more people aware of the fact that this is you know, as big a problem as it is, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.